Alright, I think I'm just gonna get started. Hello! Hope everyone's having a good day. Started a little bit later than I wanted, but it's fine. Uh, hopefully today we'll be able to finish chapter 2. Though I will say, the last few streams, my computer has crashed in the middle of the stream, right? I recently got some updates, like driver updates, so I'm hoping the issue will be resolved. If not, it's fine. We'll figure it out later. It's fine. But for the time being, let's just hop right into it. Hello. Whew. Right. Play. Give me just 1 second to get this up. That is the game booting up. And all right. Okay, so last time, when we were playing Danganronpa, we were doing daily life, which is basically where we were just hanging out with everybody. And I believe, if memory serves, it's been a little over a week, so my memory's kind of all over the place right now. So what happened was, Taka and Mondo got in a fight and then became best of friends. Byakuya is kind of doing his own stuff. He doesn't really care about the group. And then Toko has developed a crush on Byakuya. So that's what happened. And we found out, so we got a motivation. It was basically blackmail, where we found out that we had our deepest, darkest secrets would be revealed to the world in less than in 24 hours if there isn't another murder. And a lot of us were like, there's some of these secrets, like, why would we care about that? Like, Makoto's was basically he wet the bed until he was in 5th grade. He's like, I'm not gonna kill someone over this. And a few people agreed. But Byakuya made a point. He was like, you can't judge others from your own perspective. Anyway, so the next morning, we find out that there is a murder. And we found out poor Chihiro was murdered. So, what we're doing now is we are going to investigate and hopefully do the trial today too. So, let's get right into it. I get to hear the investigation music again. I love the investigation music. Alright. First of all, I'd better check the Monokuma file to see exactly what's going on. The victim was Chihiro Fujisaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the 2nd floor of the school. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. That's all it says. Well, it's not like there's any point in complaining about it. No matter what, I gotta do what I gotta do. Alright. Hey, Makoto, do you have a second? Did you need me for something?
Naturally.
Or did you need something from me? Of course. Life without purpose is quite dull, you know? So, what did you need? I'm going to let you cooperate with me during my investigation. Huh?
What?
I'm purchasing your talent. The same talent which allowed you to solve Sayaka's case. Solve? No, I just...
Stop talking.
You seem to have some limited use, which is why I've chosen you. You have the honor of contributing to my investigation. So you're inviting me to come with you? You're doing it in the most arrogant way possible, though. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. He is the ultimate progeny. That's what, how's that? Affluent progeny, that's what it was.
Let's go.
Now then, shall we get started? But we need to get moving. There's no time to be standing around. I don't really know what just happened, but it looks like I'll be working with Byakuya on this one. Okay, let's try talking to people. Let's go left to right. She took her time examining Chihiro's corpse. She poked and prodded, going over every inch of the lifeless body. You're a very strange woman, you know. Being able to touch a dead body with absolutely no trouble. She seems to be concentrating pretty hard. It's like she can't even hear us. Arrogance is his thing? Yeah. If you have time to talk, you have time to start investigating.
Okay, Sakura?
I use this locker room all the time. Now, it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else than carried here. She was very light, that's true. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her. But still,
Well,
I think she came here on her own, by choice. What makes you say that? She'd been talking a lot about how she wanted to get stronger. So, you're saying she came here to exercise? But according to the Monokuma file, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Would she really have been exercising that late?
perhaps.
Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day. So she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us. And instead, she came to exercise in the middle of the night?
However,
Perhaps. But it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. So you're saying she could have come in here in the middle of the night to train in secret? But that she also would have come in with someone else? It's a possibility, I think.
Hello, I'm here. Hello and welcome!
Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chichiro talk about it, right? All, I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did, which I guess explains the trip down here. But did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. Haven't really thought about all that stuff. Cause of Chihiro's complex. Can't help wondering what it might be. Gosh, when it paused, I thought my computer crashed. It's probably gonna happen at some time during the stream. There's a dumbbell on the floor, and this is a bloodstain. There's a bloodstain on the dumbbell. The Monokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon?
That's right.
I don't imagine it could have been anything else. You must remain strong, computer. I mean, it's a beefy computer. The reason why it's crashing, we are theorizing, is because this game isn't as intensive. And that's why it's crashing, is because it's so baby. It can handle other things fine. I've never had it crash when I'm playing Phasmophobia or Genshin, so. Now, I believe it's about time for us to move on. Already?
What?
New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but
Let's go.
if you're satisfied, then let's hurry up and proceed. He's so pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time. It only crashes with this game. What? Yeah, like, so I haven't been playing a lot of games, but it only seems to crash on games that are not very intensive. Danganronpa is one, and then the other games it's crashed on is like Moonlighter, and it crashed once when I was playing a game called For the King. But every other game that's kind of intensive or like 3D-ish doesn't crash at all. So it seems to be a weird issue with computers. Like it is online. Anyway, so.
Here's hoping everything's fine.
So, this is our next location. This place is related to the investigation? Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? Assuming card reader. If I remember right, this card reader is meant to work with our handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma. He said that, then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
Just appeared like a magic maid. Has he been domesticated?
That's right.
It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up?
Well, it's just about this card reader.
Yep.
Yes, the card reader have all been designed to. Wait, the card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your e-handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed in your individual handbook.
And it's impossible for two people in a row to go through while the door is unlocked, correct?
Unbelievable.
There were some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl. The ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter.
And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Perfectly correct.
So then, that means only girls can go in the girls' locker room. Excuse me, and only boys can go in the boys' locker room. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means... Hey, Makoto, I can see right through you. See right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
So, in other words,
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
such ignorance.
Good lord, you're simple. But am I wrong? You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine.
I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations.
Knowing you, I would bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things.
You're treating me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course that I am. Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore. They're things.
Oh, Spencer says hi. No, it's okay. Tell him it's totally okay. And I completely understand. I hope work is going okay. I had to take some sip of my water.
Yep.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it, so,
Why you?
So sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya. Get your poop together.
Unbelievable.
Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. No more questions. Figure out the rest for yourself.
That's fine.
well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculties, so I'll fill you in myself. Well, let's head to the main hall. Main hall? That'll help you understand what's going on. Cool. Oh, we just automatically moved there. I'm gonna save, because who knows when the computer's gonna crash.
This will be a safe scum.
But luckily, if it does crash, typically that's the only crash that'll happen.
I've dropped a few frames, so no.
That's bad. Anyway, we came to the main hall. So, what are we looking for here? Does that mean I have to figure it out for myself? There's a mailbox here. Could there be something inside? It's any handbook? No, wait. There's 3 of them. But what are they doing here? So you finally found them. Did you know these were here, Byakuya? I happened to buy them by chance myself the other day. It seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. So then, these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka? You can go ahead and confirm it yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks. When I did, you're right. This is Sayaka's handbook. Now do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier.
Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it.
You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your e-handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine.
I see. Yeah, now I understand.
What?
Hold on.
What's wrong?
Very strange.
That's strange. One of the handbooks won't turn on.
Is it broken? Whose is it?
The other handbook shown Junko's name when I started it up.
Then the other one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs.
Pummeled with baseballs.
The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. The execution that the mastermind concocted.
A cruel, heartless death. You're right.
White? I think I literally just said you're white. What? Why do I mumble my words? I meant to say you're right.
It wouldn't be surprising for the handbook to break during that kind of assault.
Damn it!
Hey! Hey! Hey, 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 hey!
Now I'm
Hey!
worrying.
What? That e-handbook is essential to student life here. Crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal. There's no way it would break that easily. But it did.
That's impossible!
If I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break. It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure, and it's waterproof up to 100 meters, okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit with it, it wouldn't do crap. Oh, but even my amazing handbook does have one single weak point. It does?
I can't hear you!
But it's a secret. I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks.
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing what its weakness was, right?
Hard to say. You know what I think? I think his handbook isn't actually broken.
What?
But you might ask, how could that be?
Oh, excuse me. Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared.
What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now.
You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me.
Okay then, this should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the true culprit.
Yeah, we need to find out who killed Chihiro.
To be exact, not quite. Huh? Not quite?
What you talking about, Byakuya? What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite.
Certainly, I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack.
Then, you truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case.
That murderous fiend is Genocide Jack, right?
What?
There's nobody else it could be. A murderous fiend who kills again and again using a bizarre and brutal method. They're like a ghost, attacking suddenly, then slipping away before the police can catch up to them. And what nickname did the internet give to this mysterious serial killer?
Genocide Jack. They say he's killed thousands of people, but it's gotta be an urban legend. Still,
Could one of us really be a demented psychotic killer like that? You're not wrong to wonder. But words mean little right now. I have something that will prove it. And I can show you. Really? Do we leave? Yeah, I thought we had to keep talking to him. What do you mean? Wait, not quite? Oh. Okay, so
Don't make me repeat myself.
let's get past this. Here we go. And I have a basis to believe that. I assure you, Genocide Jack is one of us. Is there really proof? There's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide all the evidence you need.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. Evidence? Does something like that really...
Hey, you two! Big trouble. I need your help.
I don't have time to play with you.
We're busy. Leave us alone.
But it's an emergency. Emergency! Come on, please. You gotta help me.
Uh-oh. What's up?
Please. This is a serious emergency. Please, please. You gotta help me.
Just calm down, okay, Hina?
But it's an emergency.
Emergency? What happened?
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange.
Well, I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit, I'm intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. Are you sure?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Okay, just say the line. I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah. Okay, come on, hurry.
Oh, wait for us, Hina!
Let's go.
Looks like she's headed to the dorms. To Toko's room, most likely. You're right.
Hey, Hina. You guys are too slow.
I think you're just too fast. So, what's this emergency?
Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her, see how she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out and kept saying all this weird stuff.
Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. Toko? I may as well give it a shot. Door swung open slowly and silently. Let me save real quick. I just realized it's been a while. It's been a while. Okay. Holy crap! An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What? Oh, nothing. It's just that, Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
Like water screen weird stuff.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, sure thing. But, could you open up, just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control.
And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that?
She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago,
I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
it doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door. But it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it.
Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared?
But whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Is there anyone who might be able to persuade her?
Well, let us into your life. Hey, Byakuya, you think you could ask her? To come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever.
Huh? You're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to.
Hey, Sherlock, help us out. Once again, a reference to when Kimi and I were playing Danganronpa, and we kept calling Byakuya Sherlock. And Makoto was Watson. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments,
What do you want?
Leave me alone. You're all so annoying.
It's Byakuya.
I don't know why. So I follow a Twitch streamer, Lucachin, and some of her alerts are of Danganronpa stuff. There's spoilers in there, so watch out. But one of the alerts is it's Byakuya. Just I don't know why, but I love the whole like she messed up the name and he's like, no, it's Byakuya, in the most deadpan voice.
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
And with that, the door slammed shut.
Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off.
There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Hold on! Hey, Byakuya! What was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But
Stop talking.
if I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya! And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking towards his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. Oh, library? Come on, let's go in.
Hello?
Is the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Don't make me say it again. Oh, excuse me. I just ate before the stream, so I'm sorry. If I remember, on the other side of this door. It's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Here?
Let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. Whoa, there's so many books and files. And so much dust, too.
So, in other words,
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. This shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file.
that's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. It won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. It's been a while, I'ma save again. What about this middle bookshelf then? There's so many files stuffed onto the shelf. What's in all these things?
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. You mean like members of the Diet or something? No, I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there.
You're kidding, right?
Am I?
I'll just let it go for now.
There's a ton of thick file stuff on the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful.
What do you mean?
All those files there are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents, for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you expect to leak.
Oh?
And I can't look at this last one, so let's talk some here. If you pay attention to your surroundings, you're sure to discover that value for yourself. Oh, I guess I gotta keep looking around the room. It's a desk lamp. For your eyes only. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
What?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I put it to good use. Yay, coin! There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although, judging from the smudges and the dust, it looks like there was something inside.
I wonder what it was.
Oh, that sweet coin. Just a single coin. Just for me. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? So? I'm rich. Are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? It's the whole thing. I'm rich, Sherlock. And he just looks over at Makoto like, you are truly pathetic. The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here.
Interesting.
It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent?
This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie.
Well, it's not that. It's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together?
I suppose it goes to show just how much Hope's Peak truly... Wait, just to show how much true... La 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 la. The president's favorite Pokemon classified stuff. Gosh, can you imagine if like influential leaders have to keep classified their favorite Pokemon? That'd be funny. Man, my voice is very cracky today. Sorry about that. Don't know why. I suppose it just goes to show how much Hope's Peak truly wields. How much power, I guess that's supposed to say? Or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. Yeah, it's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it?
What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean, usually? Usual? Normal? Ordinary? Simple? Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there's no doubt.
Hold on a second. You're saying you've read all these documents and more than once? But all this has to be like top secret, confidential stuff, right? So, why?
My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic.
How is that possible?
So, in other words,
I already told you, there is a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. Are you in the Illuminati? And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world, backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I'd like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim, without a doubt, that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports has always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's an excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. Calm down there, Sherlock, you're scaring me.
He's a little frightening.
As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
that's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases have been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two noticeable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save your surprise. The best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. In other words, no one in the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about the suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other words,
The culprit isn't a copycat killer. It's the real Genocide Jack.
in other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then, Genocide Jack really is such a brutal, fiendish killer, really is walking around among us? Among us? That's a fun game. Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. We talk to him again? Presses the emergency button.
Emergency! Emergency!
Byakuya, about that Genocide Jack case file. Actually, it's been a while, so let me save first before we delve into this. So I don't know when my computer could crash. If it could crash at all. I hope it doesn't. That'd be nice. Anyway, Could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg, but I guess it's okay this time. You want us to beg? Are you into that? Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Okay, good. Sherlock wants you on your knees, Kinky. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that thought that. I am glad I was not alone. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos from the crime... Wait, I had reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had been collected.
Ugh.
Names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kano Issei... Oh, I think I mispronounced that. Issei? I think that's better. 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Komatsuna Taro. Takefumi Gono. Uchida Naohisa. Takashi Masumune. Wait, that sounds familiar. Anyway. Yuto Yumejima. There was no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at that scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood. Now, take a look at the next page, and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page? Profiling results? All of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because eyewitnesses had never come forward with this, it's unlikely there was any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially be suffering from dissociative identity disorder.
So, in other words,
The key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality. A split personality? Like the kind of thing you see on TV? So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up till now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb.
let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Wait, Byakuya! As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play with you.
Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. Just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him, he'd cut me off. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack. He's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. We were meant to be together, Sherlock. And that is why we did the Sherlock and Watson stuff. It was a fun moment. A joking moment. I don't actually ship Makoto and Byakuya together, personally. I do know a lot of people that do. But who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. To do that, there's somewhere I have to go to investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene. The girls' locker room. And I should check out the boys' locker room too. The others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find everything I can.
Cool, let's
Save. And then let's go to the pool. Let us head on over to the pool. Sorry, that was probably that wasn't probably great to listen to. Hifumi! Hello!
Da-da-da-da-da.
Ding ding ding! Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if
Another stat increase for me.
Evidence? What did you find?
I cannot reveal that just yet,
That's it.
but
I'm sure.
guarantee that what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs.
Are you sure about that?
Oh yeah, Miss Lunenburg said she witnessed something worthwhile too.
Let's go to the mall. The mall. Yeah. Really? What'd she see?
Well,
She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? Right?
No, that's not how that works. Okay, so where is Celeste now?
The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there.
What's it gonna be? Alright, let's go back to the crime scene. Alright, not much has changed. Let me save. And I'm gonna try coughing to see if that can help clear my throat. Did it? Not really. Excuse me, by the way. Okay. Let's go left to right again.
Damn.
Chihiro's presence here was especially weak. Her body and her soul.
No
To
forgiveness.
target such a helpless being. It's unforgivable. What a wretched beast to do such a thing. I cannot forgive this. No. Hey, Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation?
indeed.
Generally speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. I guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. Oh, Chihiro. Do you have anything different to say, Mundo? Nope. I'm skimming this to see. No, yeah, it was basically the same. So, Kyoko said we should look at Chihiro's body thoroughly, so let's do that. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? This rope has a plug? Wait, so then this isn't a rope at all? Oh, excuse me. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was a blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. That's the issue of her being suspended in the fatal blow. At first, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack files, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. There's a bloodstain on the carpet. It can only have been caused by Chihiro's murder. It's the bloodstained poster. The blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. A girl's locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Hello again, if you may excuse me. Da, 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 da. That's different. Huh? This poster. The popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit the boys' locker room. Oh, but wait, that reminds me. The poster in the other locker room is... That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Well, there's one person I think who would know the difference in the locker rooms. Or at least in relation to the girls, so... Maybe this game's just progressive. Unfortunately, as much as I love Danganronpa, probably not. This game is 10 years old, so. Oh, speaking of progressive, friggin' the other day, like a while ago, I watched Miss Congeniality with my housemates, and like, friggin' there was a point where one of the Miss America people, she was, just for context, she was a black woman. She basically went out and did this whole speech of like, hey, you can be gay and be up here too. And then she shouted somebody's name from the audience and said, I love you. And then this white girl stood up and was like, I love you too. And it was like, whoa, what? And then it cut to in like the technical booth, and there was a guy there and a woman there, and the guy there was like, can we say lesbian on TV? And the woman looks over and she says, you got a problem with that? It was one of those moments of like, whoa, wait, this movie was like from 2000 and it had that stuff in there? That's so cool. Anyway, I got a lot of, I grew, it made me love Miss Congeniality more. So, just, it was a good movie. Anyway. Back to murder. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay, then let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid attention to the posters. I see.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee. Coffee? Coffee! Man, I keep mumbling. Anyway. I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? Coffee. Whoops. Coffee. In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room, and it left a stain. A stain? But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with. It is interesting. Okay, I don't think I have any other questions to ask there. Let me save again and take a sip of my water. Cause as you can hear, my throat is being weird. Oh yeah, I had to throw away my old water bottle, which was quiet, and so now you can hear the jingle of my current one. Anyway, so we've checked out the boys' locker room and the girls' locker room. Now we need to go. We can check out the warehouse where Celeste is. And then we also thought about going to the library. You know what? The library is on this floor, right? Let's try to go to the library, see if we can.
Ba-da-dun. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Mhm. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I want to take another look at Genocide Jack's case file. I know it was around here somewhere. It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would do something like that, I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. Interesting. The wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go to the warehouse. Today. Where? Not. That's the second floor. Can I not warp here? I guess I can't. I have to warp here. Wait, no? Can I not warp? I guess I have to walk. Wait, I have to check something here? Oh, okay, never mind. That's why I couldn't warp. Okay. The lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it was definitely on, and it was definitely right here. Oh, that's right. Byakuya was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if... I have to D&D soon. I'll see you later. That is totally fine. I hope D&D is a blast. And have fun. Okay. Now can I warp to the place? Yes, I can. Cool. Hello, warehouse. Celeste, what are you doing here? Actually, I just realized it's been a while since I saved, so just give me like 2 seconds. Okay, cool.
This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from.
I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless.
Then you did find something.
Very well. I will tell you and only you.
Actually,
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse.
What? Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed a jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would ever have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose.
Okay. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying, which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Celeste didn't beat around the bush there. Oh, hey, Aina, how's Toko doing?
Same as before. She won't come out, and she keeps mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there.
You left her?
My head was all swimmy and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her.
Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh? A donut, of course!
Of course.
There's two things I'm sure God created: outer space and donuts.
Really?
I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. I should have tried to spend more time with her.
Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us.
Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls.
Was she just shy?
I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex but totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh, wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right?
You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Oh! Ding dong bing bong! You know what that means? It's time for the trial! I'm so excited. And nervous.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Begin the class trial, or... It's about to begin. The red door is right through here. Oh, boy. Okay, let's do this.
Ahem. So, is everyone ready to... What? Am I blind, or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here.
And Toko is...
You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding! I'm just kidding. How can I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of this class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her out here, kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please.
Just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe he would drag a girl around. Terrible. You're terrible.
Phew. Now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. That murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Let's go right to left and talk to people. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you.
I guess I wasn't much help out at all on this one.
There is something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it.
Hey, come on.
Frick Toko, man. It's got her so worked up.
Oh, very sad.
Miss Fujisaki, I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe.
I don't know why the killer did what they did, but I'm sure it'll work out. Justice always prevails. Right, bro?
Shall we go?
Shall we begin?
Well,
I will uncover the villain who performed such a heinous act on a weaker individual.
You ready? We doing this?
We're doing this. Gosh. You have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes.
I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. Each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, came to a sudden stop.
What do you think? I redecorated! Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Good, good. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
well,
Okay then. Then let's get this show on the road.
thrills, chills,
Everyone,
thrills.
please find your assigned seats.
And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, deadly faith, a deadly class trial.
Yeah, what a save.
Oh boy. Alright. So, we're at an hour mark. So let's take a quick break. And 5 to 10 minutes. Stretch your legs, get some water, go to the restroom, do what you want. When we come back, we're gonna do the trial. Okay? Okay, cool. I'm excited to do the trial. Alright.
Be right back.
Alright, I'm back. I honestly don't know if that was 5 minutes or not. I kind of lost track of time, but it's fine, right? It's fine. I'm excited to do the trial, though. Trials, as I've mentioned before, are like my favorite part of Danganronpa. I totally just smacked my microphone. I'm sorry if you could hear that. Alright, let's check my skills. We have Attentive Influence, increases the influence gauge by 2. That's cool. I don't know if I have any other skills, but let's just equip it. We have the skill points for it. We have Downshift, which reduces the aiming speed, and we have Upshift, which increases it. I'm gonna equip that. And that's all we can equip for now. But that's fine. Okay. Let me save real quick. Well, actually, my skills haven't really changed much. I'll save after we go through the evidence for everybody's memory. So, first we have the Monokuma file. The victim was Chihiro Fujisaki. The time of death is estimated to be around 2 a.m. The body was discovered in the girls' locker room on the 2nd floor of the school. Cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi, and may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Chihiro had stated that she desired help with her efforts. She may have been meeting someone in the locker room the night she was murdered. The locker room dumbbell. Dumbbell found on the floor of the girls' locker room had a significant amount of blood on it. Mondo's account. Chihiro had told anyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. Card reader. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your e-handbook over the card reader. You need a male student's handbook for the boys' locker room and a female student's for the girls. It is not possible for 2 people to enter at the same time. Additionally, lending someone your handbook is a violation of school regulations. Alright, the main hall e-handbooks. The handbook of each student that has died is placed in the mailbox in the main hall. The broken e-handbook. One of the handbooks in the main hall had been broken, which apparently is a rare occurrence. Junko and Sayaka's handbooks both seem to still work, so it is assumed that the broken handbook is Leon's. However, Monokuma claims it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have been broken. Genocide Jack case file. Suspected genocide Jack victims include Ken Harada, Tetsuhiro Honda, and Shoji Gaku, among countless others. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodlust was found at the scene of each crime, written in blood. Profiling indicates the killer is likely a student suffering from a split personality. Aoi's account. Chihiro seems to have conspicuously kept her distance from the other girls at the school, even from the beginning. Meanwhile, it had been noticed that she got along remarkably well with her male classmates. Boys' locker room carpet stain. The carpet in the boys' locker room was found with a blackish stain on it. The posters. Blood was found on the poster in the girls' locker room. The poster featured a big-breasted supermodel popular among young boys. Meanwhile, the poster in the boys' locker room was for a boy band popular with teenage girls. Chihiro's handbook. Chihiro's handbook was not found on her corpse and has apparently gone missing. Status of the dead body. Chihiro's body has been suspended, and her hands had been bound with some kind of rope. Her fatal injury was a blow to the head. The disappearing stain. Sakura mentioned that she was responsible for a coffee stain in the girls' locker room. However, the stain had since been inexplicably scrubbed away. Library desk lamp. Byakuya was known to use this lamp often. However, the extension cord had gone missing at some point, and the lamp's cord couldn't quite reach the outlet. Celeste's account. On the night of the murder, right before nighttime, Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she was stuffing. Excuse me. She was suffering from some blue exercise clothes. No, stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. Presumably, she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. That's all our evidence. And now I will save. Oh, okay. Here's hoping everything works. I will say, if my computer crashes in the trial, I will try to get to the point where we were again, and we'll continue from there, because I want this all to happen today. So, let's get started.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
Yay! First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Trial time! Okay. I should have read those.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting.
Certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Like Chihiro.
No, the weapon that was used to kill Chihiro must have been in the locker room.
Chihiro's
Fatal injury. It appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file.
What kind of blunt instrument?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Oh, that was so close.
No.
Oh, I almost didn't hit that. I need to focus more often. I forgot the delay on this.
Can we
is
agree
slow.
that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood. And there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Tora's just jumping right into it.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? We'll find out in a minute after I save. Goodness. A new element? Yes! Oh, are we gonna talk about white noise? For this debate, yes, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. They're actually purple. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's always a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach to the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is all set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. I'm on mean! In which case, you could forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Good luck and have fun! Okay, so we have the case file, the desk lamp, and the locker room dumbbell.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Thanks, Ifumi. Whee! Alright, evidence that shows Genocide Jack is related to it. It has to be... Gotta be the case file,
is
right?
Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. There is proof.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
When there were only 3 bullets. Yeah, simpler times. Oh, but Kimi, good news. Since the next game you're going to be playing is V3, the max bullets you get is 5. So, good news there.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness. Yeah, no, I still stand by in saying Danganronpa 2 is the hardest in terms of difficulty. Danganronpa 1 is pretty easy when it comes to the logic, and V3 is a middle ground between them. So, yes. For those wondering, in Danganronpa 2, there's a point you get you get 7 bullets for a lot of the game, and I think there's a point where you get 9. Anyway, back to this Genocide Jack.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Boob lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Tell him, Makoto. I love that meme. So in the Danganronpa fandom, I see a meme flying around where it's basically Byakuya knows something, and then he's just like, tell him, Makoto. The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, it's how the victim was positioned.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
We are Watson. Yeah, furthers the whole Sherlock and Watson parallel.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Oh!
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
One thing I will say I love with Hifumi is his freaking screams.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Does seem like a riddle in a way, but luckily the save button is here to help us. Okay. I feel like I can just about see it. Genocide Jack is Toko, but is it Toko? What does that mean?
Hangman's Gambit.
Okay, so it's not actually the word that they want you to spell out. It wants you to say schizo, but dissociative identity disorder and schizophrenia are completely different things. So let's just throw that out there. That's wrong, and for the most part,
is it because
media
Jack has a split personality?
For the most part, media in general doesn't do good representation for dissociative identity disorder for the most part. So let's just get that out of the way. This is fantasy land.
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is
perfectly acceptable.
It's fantasy anime where everyone is kinda dumb or way too smart. Yep, pretty much.
Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
One thing that shows Toko could have a split personality has to do with her behavior. She fainted, her behavior changed. Her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, I'm fine. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead?
She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted.
The world has a front and back, a top inning and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time.
Oh.
And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Oh!
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Yeah, sorry, Toko. I'm gonna kind of side with Byakuya on this, but, like, he's a dick, but, like, like, I don't know why you thought it was a good idea to trust Byakuya with that.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
I know in your fantasy you believe you could trust him, but I'm sorry.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't mean.
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Oh, hey, Jack.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's an accurate reaction to seeing this the first time.
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Oh my gosh, Jack's laugh is top tier. Top tier! I can't, it's so good.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Her laugh is top tier. Heck yeah! Heck yeah! This is the Murderous Fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
It's also strange to think, oh, we have a murderer amongst our midst. But this murder? Nah, I didn't do that.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
We gonna need some proof.
Yeah, I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all this. I didn't do it, says the murderer. Absolutely. It is a fun scenario, though. Alright. What do we got? The desk lamp, status of the dead body, and the disappearing stain. Okay, I think it's gonna be status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Is Genocide Jack really the killer? I feel like something doesn't match up.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really
that's
expect
Perhaps if you had an alibi.
When you compare your past murders to the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof
Ow!
do we
Ah,
need?
balls!
Give it up. You killed her.
So close. Okay.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that.
We got it this time. We got it this time.
Oh, an alibi.
When you compare the modus
operandi matches.
No, that's wrong.
Whoa!
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything.
Well, human garbage, that's me.
No.
I do love the names, though, that Toko gives people. It's pretty good. Wait, hold on. I have to pull up. Who did... She called Hero human garbage! I just had to check.
But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. Fatal injury, the style of the bloody message. The injury.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
That's great.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is how she was suspended. When she was suspended, what was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. Let me save. That's your new name now, Makoto. Just accept it, Big Neck. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims when Chihiro didn't fit it? I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Chihiro was a girl, was her lover, was her friend. She was a girl.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Obviously her lover. I mean, what? Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, 17, Shoji Gaku, 23, Kano Issei, 14, Takashi Yoshida, 30, Komatsuna Taro, Takefumi Gono, Uchida Naohia, excuse me, Takashi Masamue, Yuto Yumejima. There was no end to it.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. It's a different
Whoops.
matter entirely. when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
I accidentally skipped over a line. He's like, but that's not all there is to it. Okay.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
Oh, there they are. She's got scissors.
She's fully equipped.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. The rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Maybe this time. In the future, maybe not. But this time, probably.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. The one person is the one who told us.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was
Sherlock, how could you?
because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
I thought we had something special.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. Wouldn't you agree? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Maybe.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
Come on, Fumi.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Tell him, Makoto! There's a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. We need to make it clear to everyone. Element has been added to non-stop debates. Is this, memorizing? We're going to add something called Truth Flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. So basically, the phrase they say becomes a truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from the truth cylinder. It's temporary, basically. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. So, if you accidentally switch to another truth bullet after you've memorized something, you can memorize the statement again, and then shoot it, wherever you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to use the flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. One thing that they forget to mention in this tutorial is that you can memorize a statement, and then when you get to the end of the debate and it goes back to the beginning, you will have that memorized bullet. There are moments where you have to get like a statement from the very end of the debate and use it to something that was said at the beginning. So, just throwing it out there, that is a thing. The game doesn't tell you can do that. So, we have just a Monokuma file. This isn't going to help us this time.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Okay. Hearing Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I realize there's a contradiction there. Let me make that contradiction clear.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
I'm gonna try this.
But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Obviously, it's either this way or the other way.
The victim was Chihiro.
Heck yeah!
No, what's wrong? I'll tell you what's so strange about that, because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Ah!
Huh? What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
Give me like 2 seconds! What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden there? Let's save. What could it be? Alright. The desk lamp, Celeste account, disappearing stain. Okay.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors.
Yes.
And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
Yes.
But Chihiro was suspended with... it was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Oh, really?
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
The proof Byakuya did it is hidden away with the rope? The item that she had been bound with was used like rope. Was it actually rope?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain when I want to kill?
Sure, Byakuya.
But
Chihiro, it was some kind of rope.
Sure, honey.
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very...
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, what's wrong?
That is wrong, good sir. Why you lying?
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, Or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you?
Why you always lying?
And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do would—
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
My finger triggered, it twitched. I'm sorry.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second?
Please.
I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Yaki's remarks just now. There's something in them that concerns me. The extension cord, presence, the seat of the crime. Frick, I was half paying attention.
I got it!
Heck yeah!
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing.
Is it though?
What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did you just take off your guard? Or did I just take you off your guard? I can read. When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
I will once I save. Okay. Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. Alright. So the things that got switched were the posters. Is one of them.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
Can I just say it's really weird to hear Makoto say big boobed, like voiced out loud?
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, The stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. Boys' locker room carpet.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
That is a good question.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Oh, really?
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
I am all ears, Hiro. Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? Enlighten us, Hiro. Thank you. Exactly. I honestly forget what he says here, so... Carpet, broken e-handbook, and the locker posters. Okay.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Okay, so the logic is actually there this time. A little bit. Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room. Yes. But if she could use it, that's the big problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really...
She must have hacked her e-handbook. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have...
No, I don't think she used the thing that was in... Huh? I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No, that's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook! The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring!
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya!
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, Why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Oh, okay. Let me save real quick.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on hold. We hit it off with Kyoko in the lead. Where she took us was the crime scene.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom. What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands? No way!
Oh good, you chickened out.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes were staring widely at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting.
I guess. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick side tangent here. I just want to say, the whole trope of like the sex reveal of like she was actually a he. It's dumb. Like it's dumb. Like let's just get that out of the way. I'm glad I'm seeing it less and less as time goes on. Just because it's more respectful that way. So even though I have said that I love this chapter, this is like one scene where I'm like, yeah, no, this is a bad scene. Like, we'll just get that out of the way. Not get it out of the way, but it needs to be addressed. It's bad. This scene is bad.
Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Just because it makes it more of like either a joke or a shock factor than it really should be. That's just my 2 cents on it. Anyway, back to the trial.
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my mind.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Oh, did I pass the test, sir?
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Yeah, what were you doing over there?
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
Byakuya, you dip? Thank you, Kyubi.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Yes.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
Exactly.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
After I save, we can do it. Hero is just lovely. That is a good way to describe Hero. But if Byakuya didn't do it, then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? One thing we can be sure of that we know about the killer. The killer is Genocide Jack, the killer is a guy, killer's girl. Killer is a guy.
I got it!
Since the crime scene was the boys' locker room, you would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's handbook is apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. You need to find some more clues. Make your argument! What do we got? Desk lamp, disappearing stain, Celeste's account. Oh, Celeste!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over.
No.
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah! No! Not game over!
Not only do we have no info on the killer, but nobody even saw the victim before he died. But is that actually true?
Isn't there a single clue?
I'm surprised I was able to get that. It was like underneath my mouse though.
Someone saw the victim at some point.
Yeah. All we need right now is any.
It's over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only.
No!
No, what's wrong?
There was one person who did. Alien 2 reference? I haven't seen Alien, so I want to know. Also, hi Rex! How are you doing? I hope you're having a good evening.
See the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this.
Makoto! Like, I know that's not how you say Makoto, but I like how Celeste says it. Makoto.
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
Please.
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse.
Oh?
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I'd better get going. I'm in kind of a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
That's true.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
We do. In the second Aliens film, a distraught space marine says, "Game over, man, game over." Oh! Is that what that's from? Oh! Because, like, I have friends who reference that all the time. Oh my gosh, thank you for explaining it. Now I know.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
Why? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Some fingies? Like in Phasmophobia?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? I'm gonna save. And actually, I'm gonna take a quick break here. I was planning on just going through all the trial, but I gotta use the restroom. So, we're gonna take a quick break here. When we come back, we're gonna discuss the tracksuit in detail and maybe figure out who the culprit is. All right? I'll be right back. Promise. Okay, I'm back. Let's proceed with the rest of the trial, shall we? Okay, so I did save, right? Pretty sure I did. Yes, I did. Alright. Welcome back, thank you! Somehow it's really hard to believe. Let's talk about the traffic jacket! The traffic jacket? Yeah, let's go with that.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, Why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
That's what it's called.
What do you mean, the specific
Tracksuit.
I got it! He picked that
I can
tracksuit
word good.
because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
You saying there's something off about what someone just said? Yeah, there was actually. And it makes me sad.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on
Because
his way to go exercise.
Celeste
So next we have to
never
ask,
said what color the tracksuit was.
why did he choose the specific tracksuit?
What do you mean, the specific?
I got it! It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
So how did Mondo know?
No, that's wrong. Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you? You just... Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue?
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Is that Chihiro's nickname? Cherry? Amazing.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
I should just let the game do the talking for me.
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked, the way he was acting, because I hate him. No! The way he talked. There was something he said that gave it away.
There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You notice such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No. I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah, he would never do something like that. This is a false accusation.
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
The way Hifumi says, "My time has nearly come," I freaking love it.
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
You found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to...
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? There's only one possible explanation. Hacking it, hitting its weak point, exploiting a bug.
I got it!
Hitting the weak point.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already. Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is...
Let me save! Thank you!
When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break! I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh?
Back. Welcome back!
It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke?
Oh.
They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Let me save! Ugh, Taka. I'm so sorry. Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? It could only have been one person. When Taka and Mondo were having their competition... Oh, I'm sorry, Taka. There was only one person that kept their clothes on.
Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
This was in the sauna a while ago with their bro. Taka, no, don't cry. That's such a mood. Look at them!
Before the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Alright. Broken Knee Handbook, Aoi's account, Genocide Jack, Case File, Chihiro's Handbook, Card Reader.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Even I don't want to believe Mondo might have actually killed someone, but I found something that proves beyond a shadow of doubt.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just...
No,
it doesn't, though.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong!
Thought I could catch your stream for a while. Okay, have a good night! Both of you guys, have a good night!
You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright, closing argument. I freaking love this! Okay. So we have Chihiro. It's coming in. Didn't mean that. That's how I do it. Celeste notices the duffel bag somewhere, right? Yes. Points out the duffel bag. Chihiro puts it in. Chihiro goes into the boys' locker room and uses the card reader. Chihiro comes in. The murderer picks up the dumbbell and smashes and kills poor Chihiro, and blood gets on the poster. Crime is done. Now they're switching things around. They are taking the poster down and they're moving the body into... Let's see. Oh, what is this one? What is this one? Hold on. Bloody dumbbell? Maybe? We'll find out. Gets in girls' locker room. Byakuya comes in. Let's see what's up. Oh wait, there's a hint system, is there? Hold on. Let me put this back. Disguise the truth. Yes. Switched around the carpet and something else. That is the poster. Okay, I was right. What does this say? Which locker room did the killer move to? Oh, so it's there? Okay, so it's there. The killer took something from the other locker room and switched it at the scene of the crime. Oh, is this where they put up the poster? Hold on. That doesn't go there. That goes there. And then they put up the poster? Okay. Byakuya comes in. What was that that brought to the murder scene? It was the extension cord? Alright. Byakuya arrived on the scene. What did he use to disguise what happened? He wrote bloodlust there. Okay. The criminal goes to the sauna. Whoops. Throws the e-handbook in and destroys it. Oh, I think I got everything.
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Wait. No. This can't be right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I love Taka and Mondo so much.
Where's your evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence? You need evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Dang is right, Rex. It's so... it's sad. Evidence that Mondo's the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. All I have to do is check that item, one item of his, and everything will become clear. Oh, bullet time battles. Please tell me. Is it the reload? Oh, about fever time and nega time. Okay. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push everything however you want and destroy the result. Oh, that's right, I have to lock off. Okay, it's been a while since I've done a BTB. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? So we've also prepared something called nega time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, nah, oh, nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. If your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use nega time, but I'm on mean, the hardest difficulty, so good luck and have fun. Okay.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Oh, man. Hello, Hot Dog Tanaka. Hope you're having a good evening.
Bro, what are you saying?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Taka.
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh gosh, I forgot I have to voice everyone at the end of this trial. I mean, it happens every time, so I should have known. Alright, I just had to take a quick sip of my water.
Uh-oh! This time, looks like you got it right again! Yes, it is so! The Blackened who killed Chihiro Fujisaki was... Mondo Owada!
Unbelievable.
In case you were wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. Oh, hey, oh gosh, I don't know how to... Lex Terry's? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. There's no way. No way he would kill someone.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologizing? Why? 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 Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
the story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text.
I think the explanation is very important, actually, so please don't skip it.
Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. He heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out.
Now no one will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy.
But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger.
I'm weak.
Weak?
Weak, 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 weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which, of course, included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge.
Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro's actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone.
Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better.
With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body. But sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me.
Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were. So Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
uh-huh.
Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to.
Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage.
I think this is supposed to be Monokuma.
So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration. And he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro.
What he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Wasn't it to cover up what he done?
Certainly.
And that could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he made to Chihiro.
But how does moving the body keep his secret?
Because
If everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity. So, he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See?
Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So, why? Why did you... Because, no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it, after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
It's impossible! Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone?
You're wrong!
It's impossible!
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you?
I'm gonna quickly save because I'm kind of shocked my computer has not crashed at this point, so...
That embarrassing memory. That secret he didn't want anyone to know.
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother!
I'm sorry, Mondo.
Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraffs across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. And before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number 1 in the gang, and his number 2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation, began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul.
Kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Could someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad.
Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang. Which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what. I gotta win.
Don't fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top.
And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during that race, tragedy struck.
Uh-oh.
The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly...
That's so sad, man. It still gets to me.
Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid. Messed up. Sorry.
Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid. Rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together, he kept the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I'm
strong. Strong, 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 strong.
And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely, the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret.
Mondo killed his own brother. No matter what, couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why. That's why I... Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness. It just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before.
I
didn't know what to do about it. Wasn't sure what to think or say. But after a while, that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety right down on my stomach. It was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you.
But why? Why now? Why are you telling me all of a sudden?
Huh?
'Cause, I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
Oh... I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever.
His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself.
I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you messing with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo.
I've felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
No, I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch.
And stronger than Daya! I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, I was lying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. Sorry, I'm tearing up a bit. Nice ship. Are you talking about Mondo? It's a great ship. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. Weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded.
Look at him! You see? You're all just like him!
Oh, Mondo and Chihiro? That is also another good ship.
For a secret from the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human.
Wait, human? I said that weird.
Another living human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is.
Hello again. My name is Celestia Ludenberg. I hope you're having a good evening.
Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't.
You! Just shut up! Go ahead, say that again, I dare you!
Yep. Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. It's what I want to say, but unfortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
Punishing?
It can't be.
You mean execution?
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous.
Hold on!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Awana, the ultimate biker gang leader.
I'm gonna save, because, again, I'm surprised my computer has not crashed after all this time. No, wait! Wait!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I said, wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Oh. I mean, I'm glad I got to max out Mondo before his execution, but it's always sad getting to this point. He turned him into butter. So in the anime, you actually see Monokuma eating those pancakes, which adds a whole other layer of disturbing. Real quick, some quick fun trivia after a very sad moment. If you do Chihiro's FTEs and you hang out with Chihiro the whole time, I can't believe it's not Mondo. If you hang out with Chihiro, when you get to Chihiro's final FTE, he mentions that he wants to get stronger, right? And he asks for your advice on who to go to. And the correct answer to tell Chihiro is actually, you should go to Mondo for help. Which is wild. So if you do Chihiro's FTEs before this point, you have like a kind of good idea of who the killer is. Another thing, Mondo's execution, I forget, it's based off of a short story, I believe. I forget the name of the short story, but basically there was a kid that was being approached by two lions, and they wanted to eat him, but they were both very prideful, and so the kid told them, like, something about, like, if you run around in a circle on the trees, prove who can do that the fastest. So they did that, and then the lines turned into butter. So it's like a reference to that story. I think I have my facts wrong, but that's the general idea of it. Anyway. Anne. Let's finish this up.
Live at death, and your soul will forever be at peace.
It can't be! My brother! Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Man, Taka's screams are so good. I feel so bad for Taka, though! Because, like, I'll reveal a little bit about Taka. He doesn't have a lot of friends, like, at all. And Mondo was one of his like, closest friends he's ever had. So his screams are really genuine. Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realize once again. But of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? Byakuya?
What is this? You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead! Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except that...
However...
I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too?
That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please, continue.
The night grew late, and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse.
You mean you actually witnessed the murder?
He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him.
Wow. So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up.
You did all that to liven things up?
I see.
So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create a fake murder scene?
But...
Man, if we hadn't figured out who really done it, you would have been dead too, right?
Well, obviously, I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked at me in the eye. I could feel its sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did. And I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Oh, correct.
So that was your reason.
Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, we're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next.
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why?
Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All of this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating.
I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope into despair.
What do you mean?
Me? Me? Mean.
What the?
Mean. Good grief! I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor. And then, everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh, how exciting.
Ah, the noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you. Understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up.
Oh, so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mop for you!
I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you.
Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap.
Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair. Oh?
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Chapter 2, Boys Left with Despair. I still stand by and say that this is one of my favorite chapters of the first game. One of the reasons being, freaking Genocide Jack, I freaking love her appearance. The other... Oh, come on, just check it! No! The other reason being is, I like how this was kind of a commentary on how it's bad to have rigid gender roles and toxic masculinity, if that makes sense. Like, you see it a lot in Japan. Anytime you watch an anime and they say stuff like, wow, it's surprising you could do that, all this strong stuff because you're a girl. It's because, like, having very rigid gender roles is, like, embedded in their culture a little bit. We see that even with this game, where, like, when we first talked to Sakura and we're like, wow, she's tough, surprisingly, for a girl. That was kind of embedded in their culture. I don't know if that's the case now, but it certainly was back then. And the same thing goes for males, too. And toxic masculinity can actually be kind of damaging to the psyche. The little bit... as I talk a little bit about this, I actually grew up in a place that was, that toxic masculinity was very prevalent. And I have several brothers. When I remember there's an instance where my brother was beating himself up because he was crying at a movie. And he felt like he couldn't be manly because he was crying at a movie. And I tried telling him, like, it's okay to cry at a movie. And then my dad told me, like, to stop because, quote unquote, men need to fight their own battles. And that kind of stuck with me. I'm like, he's crying at a movie. He should be allowed to be crying at a movie. That shouldn't define his masculinity at all. So when Chihiro keeps going on and on about how he felt weak because he didn't fit the stereotype of what a man should be, it hits a little close to home for me personally, because I saw the same thing in my brothers. So rigid gender roles and toxic masculinity, yeah, they can be damaging. So. And I'm a fan that Mondo kind of admits at the end, like, Chihiro was more brave than I was because, as a man, because he was able to face his weakness. And I think that's really important for people to hear. Like, you don't have to fit your gender stereotype to be the gender you want to be. So, anyway, that's a little bit of a side rant. I wish I could have written it down because I'm not the best at articulating my thoughts, but thanks for listening regardless. That is going to be the end of my stream, though. I really do love Chapter 2. I love Chihiro so much, and I love Mondo a lot. There's just a lot of good things that happen in that chapter. What was I gonna say? Frick. Train of thought. Come back! No, come back! Oh, okay. So, in case some people are watching, I just want to mention that Chihiro does... the game continues to refer Chihiro as a boy, and I am going to do that as well, so... I just want to get that out in case people have questions about that, because I personally feel like Chihiro does identify as male. Anyway. Ugh, that being said, even though I think I'm going to be addressing Chihiro as a male, and because this whole chapter is about gender, a lot of people, this brings up a lot of transgender issues. I do want to say, even though I do think Chihiro identifies as a male, I want to say trans rights are human rights. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't know why that has to be a topic of debate. Anyway, now I'm done. I'm sorry. But thank you everybody for joining me. I hope you guys all have a lovely evening. Next time I'm gonna pick up Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is interesting. Chapter 3 is interesting and fun. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody for stopping in. This was a longer stream than I usually do, so thank you for sticking around. I hope you guys all have a good evening and you can get some rest. Okay? Alright, wait, that's my break screen. Let's go to the stream over. Thanks again for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys. Have a good night, day, wherever you are. Have a good day. Bye, guys!